Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 518 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. First of all, I just want to thank, and I feel bad not doing this, but I want to thank my 5 Patreon supporters right now: Curtis, Derek, Maximilian, The Worms Hole, and Xavier Vargas. Thank you so much for your Patreon support. I know I forget I have Patreon, and then someone just, signed up today, and I just feel like I should, give you this opportunity to thank you guys on this channel. So thank you so much, guys, for your support, and totally appreciate it. Okay, let's get to the real important stuff. All right, so the DCEU. Is still going on, and depending on what your definition of DCU, the Batman is not part of the DCU in terms of connectivity. It's by itself, but it's still going on. And in this article, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but apparently from Cosmic Book News, the Batman is a mystery noir. Reeves offers coronavirus update. As you know, it's a coronavirus right now. It's COVID-19. But here is some things from Deadline. We're not officially editing right now, said Reeves. We've actually shot a quarter of the movie, and I've been pouring through dailies, looking at takes and what's to come. And also about the coronavirus situation and when they're going to restart filming. He said it's way too early to say. Reeves says about possibly not being able to finish filming on the Batman in the UK. I can't imagine we wouldn't finish in London. The situation is fluid. And I totally get the coronavirus thing. I mean, I'm here with my entire family, and there's noise in the background, so I apologize for that. But totally how everybody's locked down, not being able to do anything. Thankfully, James Gunn is probably one of the rare people who can actually work on the Suicide Squad while at home. I believe. He can't give any answers about the story. It took him 2 years to work on that story, and it's very specific mystery noir that's been really thought out by me and my partners. And there's a little bit more about tone, which you can go and check out if you read this article on Cosmic Book News. And if you're interested in the Batman. Okay, now let's get into a little bit back in the day. All right, it's not that far. You know, we've had a movie called, especially called Suicide Squad that came out, right? And it's interesting because David Ayer was kind of responding to fans and non-fans today in terms of the Suicide Squad today. And so it's interesting that some of this stuff is coming out. Okay, so this is from, let me see if I can reload this. When someone asked him, would you consider a live commentary of Squad? He actually said, I'd never work again, meaning he's probably have a lot to say about Suicide Squad that he cannot say, and we know that already. You know, they really changed his film. They dumbed down Joker's role. There's a lot of plot things that probably happened in the actual Ayer cut movie, but it never made it into the final film. So he had to cut all of that. And he goes on even further. I think my computer is really slow right now. When someone said Judas of Quarantine, yo David, let's see if it loads back. Yo David, Birds of Prey will make $500 million less than Suicide Squad. Remember when Geoff Johns threw Squad under the bus in all his interviews? And David Ayer responded to that and says, look, a lot of people created distance from Squad and it hurt. But this is a business, not a hug box. It is a business. I'm an easy target. Keep shooting. So now I think Judas is actually for David Ayer. But, you know, there's a lot of conversations about David Ayer. I especially want to see David Ayer's cut. If he's willing to want to fight for it, we definitely will fight for it. And he's right. It is a business. It's not a hug box. It's not about anything personal per se. It is business. But we got to talk about that a little bit because a little bit more has been coming out in regards to the Suicide Squad, right? Little by little, we start to feel a little bit more about that. Now, a non-fan says Harley was sexualized in the entire Suicide Squad movie, and in Birds of Prey, she was a real character, not an eye candy. Now, David Ayer actually spoke out and said this. Unfortunately, he said, sadly, her story arc was eviscerated. It was her movie in so many ways. Look, I tried. I rendered Harley comic book accurate. Everything is political now. Everything I just want to entertain. I will do better. So, and I don't agree with that person who said that he replied to, and a lot of people replied to this and says, you don't have to respond to this person. You don't have to respond to this person. They obviously are not your fans. There's a lot of fans out there who are giving you outpouring support. Respond to them. Ignore the trolls here, right? And a lot of people, even women, fans who are women, love this Harley interpretation. Especially me, I think Suicide Squad is one of my most watched DCU movies out of the entire arc. Like, I've watched more Suicide Squad than that one Birds of Prey watch that I've watched. So I enjoyed Suicide Squad more than Birds of Prey. So I'll say that. And I think the version that they put out is in an arc, right? And so I don't think he has to apologize. She was badass. The movie was, despite all the things that had happened, despite all the changes that the studio had made him done, it still became an entertaining movie that he 100% was the director for. Unlike Justice League, where another director stepped in. David Ayer was still the director all the way throughout. And so I want to talk about this because there was conversations that Birds of Prey was better, it performed good and stuff like that. And I know I talked about Birds of Prey and how it performed, and thinking that, okay, it probably broke even at about 200 million, right? So I have this chart here that I want to put back. So let's go back to Box Office Mojo. This is the chart for, this is how much it made, Birds of Prey. Domestic 84, international 117, and then worldwide 200,000, 84. Remember this chart that I made? Okay, let's put that up now. So I plugged that in, 201. That's the exact worldwide box office number. Now, this is how much. And so if this is on a times a 2 divider, right? Which people say, you get the production budget, you double it, and if it gets up to that point or over, it will break even or more. So just by doing it by doubling the budget, a gross profit ish, because we don't know what other expenses are there, are about 32, and so you see it all right here, right? But then, I've heard some more people, and I looked into more. This multiplier is wrong. It should actually be about 2.5. So if I change all of these to 2.5 and I bring it all the way down, that's how much this really is. This is how much is gross profit. And so just looking at this, it didn't do as bad as Justice League, but it still didn't make money. So I apologize for saying that as a movie, it was successful. It did not. This failed at the box office. This bombed. It failed at the box office. Let's just say that it didn't bomb as hard as Justice League, but it didn't make any money. It's in the red. Okay, this is a negative. When you see red, it's a negative, unfortunately, that's what happened. In fact, even today was being reported that the VOD price for the VOD is now down to like $5. It's cut down a lot more, which is not saying much, because usually when VOD comes out and then it starts getting cheaper. But I thought it just came out. It usually takes about a month or something. But, coronavirus situation I'm not being an apologist. I'm just trying to be realistic in terms of business. But I still think they are really trying to get money back for this one. And it really did not work out. This did not work out. Unfortunately, Birds of Prey did not work out. And you, as an executive, man, I got to look at this. Look at Suicide Squad. 300 million gross profit-ish, as opposed to negative 9 million. Suicide Squad leads it by far. by far. So that's what we have to say about that. In fact, um, someone said that today. Let's see. I know someone just tweeted out, and I liked it because I liked what he said. I believe it was Paul Shirey over at Joe Blow. Paul Shirey from Joe Blow responded to that David Ayer comment, right? He spoke to the fans saying he apologized. Paul Shirey goes, "F that, man. Don't apologize to these clowns. Your version of Harley kicked everything off, right down to the casting. Birds of Prey didn't come close to the box office of Suicide Squad. Rather baffling considering how much shit folks talk, but facts are facts. Keep doing your thing." David Ayer says, "I really appreciate that." And we all appreciate that. Paul Shire for speaking out in terms of that. And he's right. Suicide Squad beat that down way, way down. So, sorry for Birds of Prey fans. But, so that's the box office there. All right. Now, we're going to go into something interesting, right? And this will actually pertain a little bit to what, the conversation with David Ayer. Sort of conversations. Now we know about this. I've already talked about Film Gob. Has talked, everybody, Dave and Film Junkie, Garza, everybody's talked about this. That Geoff Johns sabotaged, backstabbed and everything, right? But Grace Randolph actually came out and said those things as well. So for people who listen to Grace Randolph, this is part of what she had to say. And thank you to Shaker at Film God for putting.
However, inexplicably, Geoff Johns is still one of the main producers on the movie. He's listed first, even though he's widely disliked at Warner Brothers. In fact, I can tell you, Johns is pretty much the one who was responsible for Zack Snyder getting replaced by Joss Whedon. He did it behind his back. That's all I'll tell you today. It's really bad. However, inexplicably,
really bad. And she had more to say, so I'll link her video over here in the description below so you can check out her whole video. She talks about Batgirl, how they're going ahead with Batgirl, and nothing different than what we've already known. At least I've pretty much talked about Batgirl. The Batman is not going to see the same universe. It's different. So although she's saying that they're going to cast a new Commissioner Gordon for Batgirl. But Geoff Johns thing, it's already been known for a while. I know people still defend him and stuff. That's great. He's an incredible writer. But I guess when the power went to his head that he could change and alter and try to be a showrunner, I guess it didn't quite work out. And I've said that many times before, right? And this including what and I want to thank George Krypton's Codex for putting this up. David Ayer actually liked some, tweets about Geoff Johns. Remember when Geoff Johns threw Squad under the bus in all his interviews? David Ayer liked that. He did deny the Johns bit though, so he also liked that as well. Probably right here proving also that Geoff Johns also touched Suicide Squad and messed with Suicide Squad as well. And we have, this is not, new. We've seen Zack Snyder, even Clay Enos, liked posts where they said when Geoff Johns left, right? They liked that he was gone, and people joked about kicking Geoff Johns out. They also liked, Vero liked those as well. So that's all I have to say about that. Let's see. So now we're going to Zack Snyder's Justice League as we end of this video. And there's quite a bit of Zack Snyder's Justice League in here. This is my fan pick of the day for Zack Snyder's Justice League fan posters. Number 768, Martin Massey, Vero Martin Macy, Instagram Martin Macy. And I picked this one because it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's nice dynamic. It's drawn, at least I think so, with some digital effects to it. it. But Superman as a kid, looking towards the future where he has to meet his friends, join them in the sun. I love that. That is a unique, probably one of the more unique ones, like the other ones I've chosen out of the entire posts that went out. So awesome job. This is an awesome piece of art here. I love it. So thank you so much, Martin Macy, for sharing that with us. So great job. Also, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Jesse Eisenberg was on Toronto Sun, and he talked a little bit about the Snyder Cut. He talked about a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm going to scroll down to the part where he talked about Justice League. A lot of your colleagues from Justice League have spoken out about wanting to see the alternate Snyder Cut getting an official release. Where do you stand on that? And he said this: I'm not sure because I don't watch anything I've been in, which is true. He doesn't watch any of the movies he's been in. And I haven't seen either Batman v Superman or Justice League. I know that I had a smaller part in one of them, but I get pretty uncomfortable watching myself. So I'm not aware of a Snyder Cut. I'm not part of, I don't even know what to call it, the movement. I like Zack Snyder, and I work with him for a while just by virtue of these movies taking so long to film. I love his style and aesthetic, and if there is a movie he wants to see released, I'm sure it would be great. Love you, Jesse Eisenberg, for saying that. The ending of Justice League teased the return of your Lex Luthor. Do you still hope to come back and play him again? And he said this: I love that part, but I don't know what they're doing with any of the movies. Playing him was the kind of thing you get to do in acting class in high school and never get to do in a movie. So it's cool that he enjoys playing Lex Luthor. He probably looking for it. If he gets a chance, he wouldn't mind playing him again. He said that before. And just like, Amy Adams, they're not sure if they're doing any movies. They haven't been a part. They don't know. No one has contacted him. I don't think the studio really have much of a plan right now in place for that. But I do hope we get to see more of him, possibly in a Justice League movie or series. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. But almost as if to kickstart this weekend, Zack Snyder posted this on Vero today with no comment whatsoever, and it is a picture. It's a picture not by him, though. This is actually by Sean Tay at Ryko Art, and I'm going to link his information to you. He makes a lot of different art, just like Victor Koo and Mighty Pegasus. Mighty Pegasus seems to know him as well. So, and it's just of Wonder Woman. But it's interesting that Zack Snyder didn't post something from his own archive or library, right? He decided to post a fan art of Wonder Woman, which is interesting. This is an Easter Sunday, right? Isn't Sunday date is 4/12? Backwards would essentially be 2/14. I think in some countries they put the day before the month, or something like that, right? So I don't know. It's interesting. So I would say, I'm looking forward to it. Actually, the day before the month will be 12/14, so that wouldn't make sense. 12/4, that wouldn't make sense. But still looking forward to possibly, maybe Zack Snyder is gonna post something. There's a Trinity. This is the Friday Wonder Woman, Saturday Batman, Sunday He Has Yet to Rise, Superman. I don't know. I don't know. Just that's tinfoil for you. And I actually want to thank that tinfoil bit to Jeffrey Warfield and Subjective Reviews. But I want to go into the next big thing that is coming out. And this is, in fact, about Delta Fran. I talked about this already, that there's an Easter Sunday event. If you want to partake in this little event, it's pretty cool. You download this video, and I have the video right here. I don't know if it's copyright, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to share it, but I may just do. Download this video, best option. Share from here on April 12th. Tweet the video with the hashtag Zack Snyder's Justice League and one other unrelated hashtag with a relevant message below. See start times below. I want to change that. I mean, I think it would. I myself will tweet this video with the hashtag Zack Snyder's Justice League and hashtag Release the Snyder Cut, because it is a big hashtag Release the Snyder Cut is a big deal. But anyway, I'm gonna put this link in the description below so you can check out this post here.
Cut.
There you go. And, okay, there you go. So both hashtags. Hashtag Release the Snyder Cut, hashtag Zack Snyder's Justice League, this coming Sunday. Be prepared to do what you can if you choose to do so. I mean, we're all at home. We might as well. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Zack Snyder will have something for us. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, hashtag Release the Snyder Cut, hashtag Zack Snyder's Justice League this Sunday. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.